Hey everybody, so I got a new little notebook. I use these little reporter's notebooks to keep lists in the shop and stuff. I've never made a case for one, but Weaver had sent us this, I think they call it their purple select harness. It's one of their new colors and it matches perfectly. So I'm going to pair this with some tan leather out of the scrap bin. I have no idea, some sort of harness. I have no idea what it actually is though. And we're going to make a nice case, probably with a pen slot for our notebook. So let's get started. I don't really have a pattern for this. I'm just going to kind of wing it, and by, measuring out, you want to make sure that you remember that on a folded thing like this, you're going to have to add some extra. So I'm going to go with 12 inches because this is 10 inches, 2 inches when it's closed, and it has to fold over this spiral thing. That should be enough. And I'm actually going to cut out the interior liner first. I want the exterior, I'm going to skive the edges of this piece down, and I want the exterior purple to be full thickness. So what I find is easiest is to cut out the interior, skive the interior down, and then glue the interior to the exterior and trim it that way. That's just how I do it with like bifolds and stuff. And I'm just using the grid on my mat to get good sharp right angles. That's all you need. And now we're going to skive. So we have our outside shell here, the purple, and you just use a marker to mark where I want, because I'm using like the edge of the hide, so I don't want to like get that split in there. I glue on both sides, and what I'm going to do is on long pieces, you've seen me do this before, I'm going to start at one end and just kind of like work my way down, like you're putting a sticker on your car kind of to avoid bubbles or anything like that. It doesn't happen a lot, but every once in a while I've gotten a little bit of air trapped underneath, and this helps that. So then I'm just going to stick this down. And with large pieces like this, we have 2 granite blocks that we punch on, and the reason we have 2 isn't so much to punch on them, it's to put stuff like this in between them, and it'll kind of just let the glue, give the glue some time to set up. So I'm going to trim off this purple and throw them under the blocks for a while to set up. So we have this all glued and trimmed up, and the only thing we need, well, we're going to do a pen loop too, but the only thing we need for this stage is we just need the pockets that will hold our little flaps in. So these are 3.5 inches long, so I'm just going to mark a little below 3.5 inches so that I can glue up to there. And I'm also probably going to push this down a little bit just so I have a little bit to trim off. I'm going to do that on both sides. And then we'll rough this up just a little bit to make sure the glue sticks. Once everything's all glued, And the glue's dry. Remember, we're using contact cement, so we want it to not be sticky to the touch. I'm going to use the lines on my cutting board again. Since this is a straight cut pocket, we want to use the lines. Straight cuts actually, I find it to be a bit more difficult than curved pockets to make it look straight, because the curved pocket kind of hides, you know, it hides the line a little bit because you're going down. And with straight pockets, you want to use something to make sure everything's lined up in a right angle. So we'll throw that one on. And once we're done with this, next step is going to be to trim off all the excess. And we're pretty much, oh, we have to make a pen loop. And then we're pretty much ready to punch and sew. So I have, this is 1.5 inches thick. I'm gonna make a little pen loop. And I'm gonna like custom size it. So I want this to pretty much butt up against this pocket, but it's gonna be fully on the outside. And then I used like the slim Sharpies. So this whole thing is sized so that it should fit everything pretty perfectly. So we'll just get the pen loop cut and burnished up, and then we can put everything together. So while we wait for the glue to dry, what I'm going to do is we need to burnish the edge that this is going to be, that the loop is going to be stuck against. I'm not going to burnish the whole thing first, but because this is going to be up here, we're not going to have a chance to burnish it. So I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to mark where it's going to go, just slightly, and then do our normal routine. So I'm actually going to pick this pocket up a little bit, get that edge, and then get this edge. And now we can go ahead and just burnish just this little 1.5 inch spot there, so it'll look nice once everything's all glued together. And here we go. This is one of those projects that's pretty simple to make. It's essentially just a card holder, but it like feels so formidable when you put a notebook in it. So you can see these are always weird because you're gonna need, it's almost like building a bifold, right? You need that extra so that when you close it, everything wraps around. So in use, I don't know how it's gonna be. We'll give it a try. The pen loop works great for the little Sharpies that I use. And this color is just, it's really tight. Oh, you gotta break these in. But when you pull it out, I'm just surprised at how good of a match the color is, but I guess that's just random. This leather, the Weavers, I think it's their Select Bridle in this purple color. I'll be honest, when I got it, I was like, I don't know what I would use it for, but this is a really beautiful color once you use it. Pairing it up with this tan, if you can kind of see it, that's really classy. We didn't have any good Ritza colors, so I used a different type of thread in like a gold color. But It struck through, it burnishes super, super beautifully. It's the same as the green we made the card holder with a couple months ago, just this, the purple color, I think. But in person, this purple is just really, really classy. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.